Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Celestial Oracle Codes. I had some technical difficulties the last time that we actually did the reading, and it recorded 4 times in slow motion, so the reading kind of got canceled out, which it was a really powerful reading, so it kind of sucks. But now we know to always make sure that feature isn't activated. So we're going to do a quick reading today and then get you out of here. We're going to use the same oracle cards. We're just kind of going to do the same thing again. Obviously, we probably won't get the exact same thing because now we're in a whole new day and we are aligning in different ways. So we'll get you 2 oracle cards at the end. This will go a lot faster, so it won't be an hour. I don't even know why it did that, but I'm glad that it's back to normal. So let's just see. Let's just find out what Spirit wants the collective to know right now. Okay. So we have the inner child, playfulness, and that's funny that that was a part of the reading that didn't really show itself. So we have playfulness and lightheartedness. So this card is really about innocence and really bringing the inner child or the inner youth into view and really expressing yourself in creative ways. Also, keeping childlike curiosity, really immersing yourself in the experience of life, being curious and having no judgment about your kind of experiences that you're going through, accepting wherever you're at as a pivotal part of your experience, and just finding the curiosity of the learning, of the lesson, of the blessing, of every moment, and staying present in the moment and feeling free and confident in everything that you do. So that's a really powerful message coming through. Another message, the other message that's coming through with that is action. So taking those actions from a place of the inner child and from a place of playfulness and innocence and just and a confident curiosity of and taking action in all those things that you do, and utilizing your mind and having an openness in the mind and staying flexible in all the things that you do, using your imagination and learning new things, and making sure that you are in compliance at all times. But also focusing on our physical health. So taking action to focus on our physical health and focusing on our relationships is also a big theme that's coming through. Trusting your gut instincts at all times and making sure that you are staying inspired while focusing on your desires. Okay, so those are the cards that are coming through. So I'm just going to let you know right now that the frequencies associated with the cards that we have brought out are showing. Let me get them all out here. Alright, so all these cards showed that we are focused on the root chakra right now. So a good thing for you to do would be to listen to frequency 396. Hertz. Also do all things that are grounding, be out in nature, meditation, all of those things would help, and any kind of root chakra work would be very balancing right now. Also, because relationships came out as well as desires, that is sacral energy. I'm not going to show the other cards because they have things that are out of compliance, any kind of naked individuals, and so, but just know the cards behind there are also that color, and that means that that is sacral energy, so that's balancing. That is also 417 hertz frequency that will help with that, and we got a lot of ultimately, we got the mind and openness. So whenever you get the mind and openness, that is automatically third eye energy. So that to activate that, that's 963 hertz. immediately activates, and then 852 hertz is the resonant frequency. So 852 hertz is technically what we want to be listening to when we get that mind and insight card. So the inner child and gut instincts goes with the solar plexus and 528 hertz, or the miracle tone, and those are your chakra insight cards. So let's go ahead and get you a couple of messages of light, and then we will get you out of here. So the messages of light that I want to come through, calling in all the spiritual guides of all those watching, my viewers, and my own spiritual team and guides and guardians, plus all archangels and angels and the Most High. What wants to come through for the collective at this time? So, because the last reading got messed up and I feel so terrible because it was a really powerful reading. So we're going to do 2 from the top, and then I'll pull the 1 from the bottom, okay? And that will be the message is of the light. Okay, so this is really good. So the messages that came through, the 2 from the top, and then I'll give you the 1 from the bottom. So here and now was the first message of light that came through. Look at that. Those are really beautiful cards. So here and now says, I live in the here and now, always conscious of my active presence within the universe and of my work on earth. I stop living in the past and no longer worry about the future. I am aware of what I create with my thoughts, my words, my deeds. I trust for now. I trust, for I know that all comes to me at the right moment when I am ready, here and now. So let me see if I can do something about this. Whoop. Light so that you can actually see the card. Okay, so you can see it a little bit better. I don't know if the light actually I don't know if that actually helped anything, but so that's here and now. And what this card, what I'm channeling in, is to be present. Be present in all that you do, and just really, just like the chakra insight card said, really stay in that awareness, in that presence, in that innocence, in that playfulness, and in that non-judgmental curiosity and presence in life. Really accepting whatever lesson that it has to teach you. Really immersing yourself in the blessing that it is for you. That the present is for you. So, the second one is, I have power. Let me see if I can get it to, that's a little bit better. You can actually see who's on there now, but, so I have power says, I am master of my life and perfectly at one with the universe. I keep my thoughts pure and do not engage in the heaviness of destructive emotions. I rise above doubts. I believe in myself, and I know that with God I can do anything. I now draw upon this new power within me, and I go through this growing phase with ease. So there's a transformation happening in the collective right now, and it is in conjunction with all of those astrological aspects of Mars and Venus, the archetypal planets that are kind of doing, Mars is in the rebirth and the restart, and Venus aligned with the sun energy and the alignment. I've said it in some of my last messages, and it's creating this, not turbulence, but there's a realignment happening in individuals. So they're readdressing their boundaries, they're readdressing their connections, and they're reassessing if that connection is overstepping boundaries. They might feel more connected to trauma. They're releasing traumas, okay? There's a releasing of traumas that's happening right now. And as that releasing comes up, the thought patterns of others and thought patterns of the past are coming up, but it's only to be released. So we're thinking of it, or we're allowing it to express itself in some type of way, and then it's clearing. We're clearing those codes out. So that's something that's happening in the collective. And then what's being restored is this power. So you already have this power, but right now it's being activated, and it is being activated through you being present, is what those cards are really saying. So balance is the last card that came off the bottom, and that is the card that is, I feel like, a huge vibration, or a huge representation of the vibration and energy of this entire reading. So I find balance between my spirituality and my work here on earth. I've forged a perfect link between earth and heaven, the physical and the invisible planes. As a soul, I am striving to evolve, all the while remaining aware of my light in this concrete material world. I am whole. So I love that it brings back to wholeness, and it also totally resonates with that astrological aspect that I was just talking about, you know, making sure that our connections are being forged in wholeness and through wholeness, and making sure that we're whole and we're not trying to connect through two people through a broken place, or a place out of alignment, because we're coming from either a lack, something that's lacking in us, or something that we feel like we're lacking, versus the fact that we're whole, and now we are either filling our cup to the point where it's overflowing on others, and that's the wholeness that's being expressed in the universe and bringing the love into our lives, or the connections and relationships, or we are already whole within ourselves, so much so we are content and not looking for anything outside of ourselves when we find whatever the aspect or relationship is that brings us even more fulfillment in life, because it complements our wholeness, versus it tries to fill a void or something that we have expressly or unconsciously accepted as a lack within us. So that is a big message coming through with balance, and those are your messages of the light. That, my beautiful collective, is your reading. My name is Samuel. Thank you for joining me on Celestial Codes, Celestial Oracle Codes, and not Celestial Codes, Angel Numbers Decoded. That's my other channel for decoding angel numbers. But thank you for joining me. If you're a subscriber, thank you for returning. I love you either way. Thank you for being on my channel. And if you are not a subscriber, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Other than that, I will see you in my next reading.